Hey guys, it's David here. So this video has been a long time in the making. Today I want to talk to you about my new rare cichlid tank, along with the setup of the tank and the stocking. This is going to be the first time that I actually show and discuss the stocking of this tank in detail. So come on. So it's taken me quite a long time to get this tank set up the way that I want it. I've had some of these fish for at least 3 or 4 months, and a lot of them were in quarantine, and I've slowly been adding them together over time. It also took me quite some time to get in all this hardscape, and while I do have live plants in there right now, I realize that the vast majority of those plants are just not going to make it. But let's go back from this to where it actually started. So a lot of this footage you're going to see has been used in a previous video, but what I have to say is quite a bit different than what I said then. This tank is absolutely massive. It's 30 inches tall, 24 inches wide, and 8 feet in length. And getting this beast inside the house took 5 guys. Luckily for me, I was not one of those guys, thankfully. I'm gonna speed this up here just a little bit since I have used this footage in the past. It is a big, huge tank. And even though acrylic weighs a lot less than glass, getting this thing in place and moving it around has been a beast. I want to tell you my biggest regret when it comes to acrylic tanks. I bought a 125 gallon tank from one of those online direct retailers. There's probably like 10 different ones out there, and I mean, they're all pretty much the same. The prices are the same. And when you order from them, what they do is they will ship it directly to your house. But if you order a tank from, say, one of the big box stores, they're going to deliver it to your house for free anyways. And then my other suggestion is if you're going to get a big acrylic tank, go check out your prices at some of your local fish stores if you have one in the area. Because I will bet you pretty much 10 out of 10 times, they're going to give you a significantly better deal. And not only that, I'm a firm believer in helping your local area fish stores out. Because when those guys go away, our hobby goes away. And that's not going to be good for anyone. And just to give you an idea of the price difference, on the tanks, I would say they're probably 2/3 the price at my local area fish store, and the stands and the canopies are at least half the price. When we first got the tank inside the room and set up waiting to go, we had to keep it pulled away from the wall to make room for the seamless sump system that I ordered from Custom Aquariums. Now I decided to go with the 4 compartment system that they offer. It literally takes up every single free inch underneath the tank, but the amount of water capacity that it adds is amazing. We can see here in the first chamber, we've got these filter socks, and what they're going to basically do is they're going to collect any of the large sediment that gets sucked up into the filtration. And then our water is going to pour over the media here in the next chamber. And then in the chamber after that, we have the pumps, and that's also where I have my heaters. In the media chamber, that's where I store the bio balls, and then I also use chemical filtration. And then from there, the water is going to go over into the pump chamber, and I use 2 heaters and 2 pumps just in case. And the next 2 tanks are overflows or refugiums. And just look at that hornwort. I swear, that is the most luscious, green, thick hornwort I have ever seen in my entire life. And it takes up the entire tub. And you can see that this is still a work in progress. I have yet to add plants to this tub here, and then lights. And once I do, that's going to be just as lush as the tank next to it. All in all, it is an awesome system. And I don't think I've been more excited in a really long time than when we finally got to fill it up with water and just test to make sure there were no leaks. And there weren't. So what you're looking at right here is one of the earliest iterations of this tank. And you'll see that there's a lot of tannins in the water, and a lot of the wood still wasn't waterlogged yet. So it's kind of floating there at the top of the tank, and by now the vast majority of it has hit the bottom. Now, I'm not going to bore you with, adding the sand and the water and the plants and the hardscape. I see a lot of other channels doing that, and I'm going to be honest with you, that's probably the most boring part of the setup anyways. I do have people ask me a lot about where I get my sand and some other things, and I can include that. So if you're interested, just let me know. Now I want to go through and talk about some of the stocking in this tank. And I will tell you that this is primarily a rare cichlid tank. Right there you're seeing a yellow acara. They're not very common in the hobby, but they are definitely not a focal point of this tank. The fish that you're gonna see next here, that's a calico damba. The little guy there, he's kind of hard to see. And this is a starry night cichlid, Paratilapia pollini, or at least that's what he was sold to me as. And I'm also gonna be bringing in some Paratilapia ondapa, which is just I'm not even gonna get into it. It's a different fish. So the main theme of this tank is probably Malagasy or Madagascar cichlids. They're some of the rarest cichlids in the hobby. And this guy right here is an East Coast Gold. He may not look like much right now, but when he's an adult, they are phenomenal. Although they're not rare in the hobby, I did bring in some Geophagus winemilleri. And the reason these guys are in here is because of the larger dambas that I'm going to show you in a little bit. But basically, dambas are sloppy pigs when they eat, and they make a huge mess. And these guys do a wonderful job at keeping the substrate clean. Now, these little blackfish that you see are some of the fish that I'm the most excited about. They're super rare. They're called Stomatepia pindus. They're basically shaped like little rockets, and they just dart back and forth throughout this tank. They come from a volcano lake in Cameroon, and they are very much endangered. I also have a couple of plecos and Synodontis in here, and they do a good job of just keeping things clean. Now, before we get to the dambas, there's just one more fish I want to talk about. These are the Madagascar rainbow fish, and while they are not true rainbow fish, they do come from Madagascar, and they're not incredibly rare, but they are very, very beautiful. And in my opinion, they are one of the most beautiful rainbow fish in the hobby. They add a lot of motion at the top of the tank. They're an excellent dither for some of these big bangers in here. And just watching them swimming back and forth all day is pretty cool. Now, I want to talk about the big boys in this tank next. But if you can, just take a moment to appreciate how cool these guys are. I mean, come on. When I said this is one of the most beautiful rainbow fish in the hobby, honestly, I think they are the most beautiful rainbow fish in the hobby. Just watching these dudes swim back and forth, they are mesmerizing. And they actually get pretty big, but not unmanageable. Now, these fish that you see right here are the focal point of this tank. While they may not be quite colored up right now, and they are not their full adult size and coloration, they are stunning. When these guys reach adulthood, they are one of the few cichlids, in my opinion, that actually look an awful lot like saltwater fish. I mean, even as sub-adults, they're starting to show some of that adult coloration, those blues and those reds. They've got really quirky and interesting personalities too. And when I feed these guys, they eat like Oscars. I mean, they just absolutely smash the food. I think the only reason they're being timid right now is they see me watching them eat the lettuce. And unlike in other tanks where when I put lettuce in, usually I have stalks remaining, these guys will even notch down the stalks just to a stump. These pinstripe and spotted dambas are super intelligent, and they have this weird thing where anytime I put anything in the tank, they have to come over and taste it. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't matter what I put in there, whether it's a net, hardscape, food, my hand, another fish. They're gonna come over, and each and every single one of them has to come and nibble on it. It's kind of funny, but it's pretty cool. I would say that overall, I'm pretty happy with the setup and the stocking of this tank thus far. A lot of these Malagasy fish are critically endangered, and if I do get a breeding pair, I'll try to separate them, put them into a 75, and see what I can do to help propagate the species to others. So let me know what you think, what you like, what you dislike, what you would do differently. I'm all ears. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. Until next time.